Alright, I have a completed prototype. I should mute this a bit. Alright, I have a completed prototype of this deck box. So on one side it's flat. That is a small oversight that there's those holes there. Another issue is I don't think I quite had the print bed at the right level because it's a little bumpy on the edge here. It like comes out. Yeah. As for the closing mechanism, it works quite nicely. Like it slides nice, and then there's this bump, that one little bump there, and it snaps shut and stays shut, and it doesn't damage the cards at all with the closing mechanism, unlike these fucking boulders. And it seems pretty good. The only way it's opening is if you slide the top off, and then with one hand, it's these are a little too slippery, and I have to squeeze really hard to get them out. But there's a simple solution to that, and that's this. Now, with a larger design, where it's multiple decks, I would want this to be deeper down so you can grab it more in the center. But for a single deck box, it can actually be shorter if necessary, because like you can just do that to take it out. Another issue is related to the issue of bed level. The bottom is not super smooth inside. It's very rough. So that's a concern. I'd have to either fix this one as is or fix the issue on the printer. Fixing the issue on the printer is finicky and not guaranteed. And so if it ever happens, it would be good to have a method for smoothing out the inside of the bottom, because it might cause some kind of damage to the sleeves. Not sure. Probably not anything super noticeable. Maybe over time it would definitely do something. I don't know. It's just rough inside there, which is not the best. Yeah. Alright, but other than that, this snapping mechanism, very nice. The sliding mechanism, also very nice. How hard is it to put the lid on? Let's see. So, yeah, I can do it with one hand. You just put it on and slide it. The lid was printed on an earlier batch that was a failure. This is the bottom of it. I actually cut it in half with a knife, but so there's chunks in this garbage here or something. I don't know, whatever. But the lid came out because it printed up to like this level before I started running into issues. So the lid was printed at the same time. So I figured I wouldn't print another lid and just print a new one. That is the closing mechanism. It's got that little hole to snap and then the rails to slide on the rails here. This is completely solid. It's not hollow at all. It's 100% infill. It's completely solid. The bottom is completely solid, which is also part of why the bottom is a little crunchy. Because like if it wasn't 100% solid, it would get rid of issues when it goes to infill, and then the top layer would be smooth. So that could be a consideration to like switch to an infilled layer like the lid here, which is hollow. So the lid's hollow and this thing is solid. Yeah, another thing to consider is that so I put the deck in the deck box. I could also trim down on that space. It's currently 73 millimeters square. on the inside dimensions by 95 millimeters. So 95 millimeters seems to be correct. The top is smooth. I don't think there's going to be there's a little tiny bit of room. If you're not using dragon shields, you might run into issues, but like, fuck you for not using dragon shields. I'm pretty sure cam C's are also the same size, so it shouldn't be an issue. If you're using penny sleeves I believe are taller, so if you're using penny sleeves, get fucked, I guess. If you try and put it on the wrong way, let's see what will happen. That's what happens when you put it on the wrong way. It gets stuck like that. If you can force it, okay, that's a bad sound. I heard mild cracking sound. Don't like it. But yeah, you can put it on the wrong way. Can you get it out if you put it on the wrong way? You can. So you can leave the lid on the box the wrong way if you want. Just to keep it there, I guess. Funny. It doesn't rotate very much. I wouldn't rotate it. Let's pull that off. But yeah. So it can be trimmed down, especially for a larger version. And that gap there. That gap there's a bit of a concern. The other concern is obviously the sides are not flush. 3 of the sides are not flush. The 4th side is flush, so it's like whatever. But like this thing is nice because it's a flush brick. But this, it's not flush. I could make it flush, but it would be made flush just by making it fucking a lot fatter, because this is about the minimum I'm comfortable printing it. Any thinner and it would run into durability issues. Well, the lid is the issue, because the lid has the grooves in it. So the thinnest part is actually thinner than the actual thickness of the wall of the lid, because there's the grooves in it, and the grooves take away from the thickness. So it would crack on the grooves if it was too thin. Yep, alright, this has gone far too long.